Hi everyone, my name is Beth Hervey. I am a history education major. This is my second year at SAU. Very excited to be taking this year's fall Intersession course. There's definitely a lot that you can learn from projecting yourself within public speaking, and I'm very excited for this course. Today, for my demonstrative speech, I'm going to be talking about how to bake a custard egg pie. This pie, called the egg custard pie, has been a staple within my family for many, many years. It is often not the most popular. There's not too many people that I've met throughout my time within college and within high school that have had an egg custard pie or even made one. So whenever I show up with it to events and Friendsgiving and things, people are always very shocked and very pleasantly surprised by it. It's been a staple, like I said, within my family always growing up, and I actually remember it as one of the very first things that I ever learned to bake and ever worked up the courage to be around an oven for, because I had a horrible fear about ovens whenever I was little. So, of course, because I'm a history major, I had to add in the history of the egg custard pie, just a little bit. I'm not going to go too overboard. But the Romans were actually the first group known to start an understanding of the egg as a use of a solidifying agent and a binding agent. So very revolutionary, something other than flour that was used to thicken things and make it light and fluffy and just delicious. Custards were used to fill pastries and tarts, which were smaller, but then they grew into larger filling for pies. Within Europe and Asia, there have been recipes such as the egg custard pie dating back to the Middle Ages, so this has been around for a while, and obviously it's good, or else it wouldn't be around for so long, thus leading us to the delicious egg custard pie that we have today. So, this is titled The Ease Within the Beginning because there's so little ingredients within an egg custard pie. It makes it very easy and there's not much baking time. Overall, it's very simple compared to many pies such as the chocolate pie or a lemon meringue pie. Very delicious, but often they take a lot of time and a lot of different ingredients. And one thing wrong can mess up the whole thing, whereas an egg custard pie is much easier. It's much more simple and very good for beginner bakers. So, the recipe. This recipe that I have here on the right is actually, I had my mother send it to me from back home. Obviously, you can see that it's been used a lot. There's a lot of stains, a lot of junk on it, because we've been using it for many, many generations. And so the one that we're going to be using today is egg custard pie at the bottom. You see it has not very many ingredients, and the directions aren't that long. So yet again, another example of how simple an egg custard pie is to make. So going on to the ingredients that we were saying, there's 5 main ingredients that are necessary. You have milk, eggs, sugar, nutmeg, and a pie crust. You can add vanilla extract. My family's never been super huge into it. It's never been something that was exactly required, like we had to have it, but some people really like it. Sometimes it gives it a really good flavor to add to it. Either way, that is optional. Going on to step 1. The easiest way to start out with any sort of baking is to set out all of your ingredients to begin with. For one, this lets you know that if you're missing something, you need to go and get it beforehand, or maybe you shouldn't even start at all because you can get it the next time you go to the store. It also makes sure that you're not scrambling around during the baking process, because sometimes you can get a little bit hectic, you might break things. So when you have everything perfectly lined out, it really makes things just easier for you overall, and it makes the process much quicker. And overall, setting everything else just gives you a really nice sense of preparation, which I feel like everyone needs and wants in their life. So, moving on to step 2. If you're using a store-bought pie crust, which is what most people do, it's a lot cheaper, and not necessarily cheaper, but it's a lot faster a lot of times. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to need to set it out at room temperature. When pie crusts sit in the fridge or come straight from the store, they're a lot of times hard. They're really hard to manipulate, and whenever they go in like that, a lot of times you're having to rip them to even get them to lay flat in the pan. And it also just doesn't give you quite as good of a flaky and buttery flavor unless you let it sit out. So once the crust is at room temperature, place it in the pie dish, pat it down nice and good. Note that a deep dish pan, in my opinion, is much better for a egg custard pie, because this is going to be a very liquidy mixture until it gets in the oven and it actually solidifies from the eggs. So with that, if you have it in a very thin pan, it's much easier to slosh around versus a deep dish pan. It's much easier to handle. So then what we're going to do with the crust is we are going to take our pointer finger and our thumb finger, put them about an inch apart, our right hand or left hand, it depends on if you're right or left-handed. And then you're going to take your thumb from your other hand and you're going to push them together like this and make V shapes. You can see a good example over here on the right. It's very common, probably the most simple and the most common. And it just really keeps, especially for egg custard, it keeps everything in. If you do slosh, you're much more likely to keep it in because you have all those sides around. I always say that it looks like a sunflower. It's just very pretty, very easy. So going on to step 2, you're going to need to take 3 eggs, whisk them together until foamy. It's always good to whisk your eggs in its own separate thing. For us, we have our own chickens, so you really need to check the eggs before you start putting them into other things. So you put them in a little thing, whisk them together until they're foamy, as the recipe says. And then you're going to need to add 3/4 a cup of sugar, which honestly is not that much sugar compared to a lot of other pies, and whisk until that's mixed. Doesn't take much time at all. This would also be the time to add some vanilla extract if you want. It's all completely up to you. After that, you need to add 2 cups of milk and then stir it all together. You would pour that into your pie crust in your pan that we made earlier, and then sprinkle it with nutmeg. And compared to other pies, that is very, very simple. And so, going on to step 4, you're going to need to preheat your oven to 425 beforehand, which is a pretty high temperature. So I would recommend getting a pie crust covering, which you can see in the top right corner, to help protect the outer crust in this high temperature. And you're just going to need to put it in there for 25 minutes, which is honestly pretty short for a pie. Sometimes things such as pumpkin pie take well over an hour. So 25 minutes, pull it out, let it cool, and it is ready to serve. So, in conclusion, I hope that this encourages you to making a custard pie the next time you're needing any sort of something sweet or any sort of dessert to bring somewhere. It's very simple, you see, 25 minutes, perfect amount of time for you to get ready while it's in the oven, and it's just an overall delicious dish. Even though some people are often skeptical, because egg custard sometimes doesn't sound the most appealing. It's very delicious, very not overbearing, and just a wonderful dessert. And it will definitely be a showstopper if you bring it somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed how to make an egg custard pie. I hope that you go out and make your own. And once again, my name is Beth Harvey, and have a great day.